Hi YouTube, today is time for another layout update on the micro layout that I am building. We're looking at this particular area. This is to the right hand side of the river, as you can hopefully tell. Now I'm just going to very briefly explain what the plan is for this area, and then I'm going to go into more information about how I'm doing the scenery as I normally do. So it's what I've done so far. So I've built these hedges. You can see one here and one here. I've got a separate video on how I made those, which I will be putting up. I'm not sure before or after this video. I'm not sure which way around they've been uploaded yet. But basically what you can see, these hedges are now stuck in place. That's where they're going to go. So what I'm looking to do here is have a bit of a fence and a hedge, kind of like the, I don't know, wooden fence was there originally, and then the hedge kind of grew in and around the fence. That's the look I'm going for. So that's going to sit in this corner, hopefully, something around there. About where the screwdriver is, I'm going to plan on putting a tree of some form, just a single tree on its own, nothing too special, potentially 2 trees, but I don't think there's enough room to stick 2 trees. And then underneath there it's going to be less grass, a lot more mud, overgrown, kind of dead leaves and twigs, and that sort of look, which is kind of going to sit in this corner, something around there. Right, you seem to be doing a bit of work in this particular area. You can hopefully now see that there's quite a bit of browns and blacks and so on in this area to represent the soil and the pieces of wood and so on. You've got to imagine there'll be a tree about there somewhere. Once the tree's in, I'm going to add a little bit more detail to this scenery, and I'm going to make something which will hopefully add another level of realism to that. However, for now, this is where I want to be. There's a little bit of greenery in there, just more towards the edges, sort of in this area and around the base of the pillbox. Now that greenery doesn't go all the way around. On the side you can't see, this side it's actually still open to grass, but I will be adding 1 or 2 little bushes that are kind of climbing up and into the windows and so on, but again, that's all going to happen at a later stage. I've added some of the soil effect around the base of the hedge on this side here. That's really more just to hide well, where the ballast joins the grass. There's a hedge kind of in the way. I put a bit of black and a bit of earth under there just to hide it. You can't really see it unless you look from the back. And then on this side here I've created like a walkway which I don't know, the cows or the horses or whatever are in this field, they kind of walk along the hedgerow a bit. So I've just added a little bit of detail in there, just to add another level of realism to it. But the rest of this area here is actually going to leave it untouched. I'm probably going to put 2 or 3 animals of some form in there that would be in a paddock, just to be dotted around on this little area here, just to add a little bit of something to it. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use wet water, and I'm going to just attach all this down. I will just quickly do along this side here. I'm purely just doing a little section here and here, just to give the effect of the ground isn't flat is what I'm going for. So I'm just using a bit of filler now. I'll smooth it out. And then when that goes hard, I will just put the scenery and get it back to the similar stages what it's currently at, just with the grass and nothing else. And then when we return, which is going to be tomorrow, because this stuff takes a few hours to go hard, we can then carry on with the rest of this scene, and I'll show you how I'm doing the rough grass look. Okay YouTube, so I'm just going to explain quickly what I'm doing, and then just time lapse so you can see exactly how it's going on. So I'll just start with the stuff which I'm using. I'm using these little rocks here, which you saw me use in the river. I've got a big bag of it just off screen here, quite a lot of that. I've got some dark green clump foliage, this sort of thing. Medium coarse turf. Then I've also got just a few other little bits of dark green foliage. I've got some yellow, I don't really know what it is, but yellow material, and some brown mud effect sort of stuff. I'm going to use this to work on this area here in particular at the moment, and hopefully you can just see the techniques which I use to build up the layers of scenery. I use the same technique on the whole of the layout, so for the rest of the layout, which is probably just time lapses and just pictures and that sort of thing, Now, is what I do is I, excuse me, is I dry fix everything, so nothing is glued down at all until like that's quite literally the very last thing I do. So the idea of that is if you make a mistake, it's very easy just to remove stuff, and you can start again quite quickly without worrying about gluing stuff down. So there you go, YouTube. I've filled in this area now. It's looking considerably better from how it was beforehand. I wanted to go for the rough look. This is an unmaintained side of the track here, which was the other reason why I decided I wanted to shape it slightly, which is why I cut away the landscape about here and here. And I think from the front, which is where I'm sitting, you can see the dip, and you can see how the landscape follows it, and I think it looks really good. So I'm quite happy with how this is looking now. I think the rocks in there, I think they work really well. They just bring an extra level to it. I may be adding 1 or 2 more little rocks in this gap here, but I'll do that once everything's glued down. So the next stage is to just use glue. Now I use the exact same technique as I do with ballasting, to be honest, which I think I've already explained to you how I do that. Is what I do is I spray it with a bit of wet water, which is just water with washing up liquid, and then using a pipette or a dropette or whatever you want to call it, I just use a 50-50 PVA glue water mixture with a little drop of washing up liquid in it, and then I just very carefully just drop it on, and then I'd leave it for, you know, well, how long glue take, about an hour or so, and then I'll come back and I'll carry on with
So thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you have learned something. Hopefully you can apply these techniques in your modelling. I really find that this is just working it up in layers is really important to put down your base layers and then build it up with the thicker and bigger stuff, and those stones in there, just here and here, I think really just make that bit of the layout really just pop and really work. So I'm really happy with how they've come out. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.